What's going on, guys? We are back with another video, and today we are taking out this transom. So I think I've mentioned in a couple previous videos that this is rotted. It's done for. I don't feel safe putting a motor on it. I don't feel safe putting that 45 on it, yet alone if we do end up upgrading. You know, I don't like that whole idea. So we're gonna go ahead and cut these welds. We've got a guy who will re-weld it for us, but we have to cut these welds in order to get the transom out. And then we are going to go ahead and replace it from there. So that is going to be this video. With that said, let's get started. Alright guys, so this is kind of what I did real quick. You guys can see I didn't go all the way through, but I kind of made my line because it makes it a lot easier to follow than going all the way through on the first run. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I think I'm ready to go all the way through here. We're going to see how that goes. I'm clueless on this stuff because this all has to get re-welded. So I just talked to the guy, and it's kind of what he said was best to do. There's a weld in there that I gotta get to, but I think if I just go down, I'll be okay. This rail, it seems like, I don't know. We will see. Alright, so we're all the way through for the most part. We got to cut right there and right here, and this side should come off. I'm actually going to leave it though for a second as I cut that side. That way, because I don't know how everything's going to fall, so we'll have to see about all that. But once we figure that out, then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so we've got this side notched as well. So we're going to go ahead and finish this cut, but the one thing I think I might have trouble with is we have a cut right here that we have to make on both sides. I haven't cut it on that side either. That might be tough, but we're going to have to figure that out because I'm not sure. The grinder might work. That might actually not be that hard. We'll have to see. It'll be close, but I'll get you guys set up and we'll make this cut. This. Alright guys, so we finally got it out, and you guys can see how much of a mess, you know, this made. This wood was super rotted. You guys can see here, it's just like flaking off. Literally looks like wood chips down there. So we're going to be putting a new piece in with, and we're going to seal it with epoxy fiberglass resin, and that'll do the trick. This thing will be nice and strong again. We won't have to worry about, you know, having that motor on it or even a bigger motor. So I'm happy we decided to do this, and you know, we had to cut the welds, but we got a guy who can fix that for us. So that is out now. We gotta go make the new one. Alright, so we went ahead and traced out this transom right here. We've got it all on this piece of wood. We have to cut this piece out, then we have to use this piece of wood. We got to cut the same shape out, then we have to glue it together and seal it. So that's what we're going to go ahead and get done now. Alright guys, so we got our two pieces of wood all glued together now and cut to shape. Now we have to seal it. So with that, we're going to be using fiberglass resin to go over this. It's 100% waterproof. It'll go ahead and cover everything we absolutely needed to do, and that should be way too much. We're going to do a couple coats of that though, get this all good to go, and yeah, so I've never used this stuff before, but that's what we were going to go ahead and go with. So with that said, I'm going to set you guys up. We're going to go ahead and get this started. Alright, so we're getting this stuff all mixed up. Not really sure how much I'm going to need, so I'm just doing a little bit at a time. But I don't think I have a big work window, so I'm going to set you guys up, and we are going to get this stuff on. Alright guys, so the amount we did was not enough. We still have this whole side to do, and I don't think we got as good of a layer as I expected on there. But I only did 2 ounces of the resin and then like 25 drops of the hardener. But we're going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to do probably 2.5 ounces of hardener. Try and get this side finished, and then we'll go over, you know, some of the stuff we didn't really get as well over here. But yep. Alright guys, so this is all finished and resin coated, so it is good to go. It's nice and sealed, and it's all, you know, good to go. So now we gotta actually get it into the boat, so that's up next. Alrighty guys, so we got the transom in. It's just kind of set in there. That aluminum plate was pretty messed up from the motor and it all rotting, and I didn't have a big enough piece of aluminum to cover it all, but I don't really think that's necessary. So I cut this piece of aluminum. It's going to come up. It's just falling because I haven't screwed anything into it, but it'll be right up to here, so the motor will clamp onto this instead of the wood, which I think just is, you know, all around better. But, you know, it fits pretty good. We're going to go ahead and start fastening some things in, kind of get it locked in, and then I think we can fasten this. I got to talk to the guy who's welding it, whether we can kind of fasten that in first or not. I'm not completely sure, but we're going to go ahead and try and get this thing kind of put back together. So we got this plate just kind of set in place. We've got it clamped. You can see the new aluminum piece we put here because that piece was just brutal. This was actually, I think it was right here. It was part of the back deck. We just used a plate from that. I trimmed it, you know, to fit the taper or whatever. And then this will all get kind of closed up once I start screwing this together. And then it'll get, you know, it'll get welded back together. But Yep, that's all needs to get rewelded. This still need to get rewelded. That'll be closer together though once I start bolting things together. Same with over here. This will all get rewelded. All that good stuff. But I'm gonna start using the bolts and start getting stuff back in place. You can see this metal's a little bit bent just because of how bloated the wood was and us taking it out. So might be a little bit of a chore to kind of get it put back together. But we're gonna try and get that done tonight. That way. This transom's pretty much ready to go. It just needs to get welded. But yeah, there we go. These pieces are actually holding it. I bolted these to the. I bolted those through this, so that's holding it pretty solid. And then you can see this is all sealed, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the bolts in. Those bolts. I'll probably end up getting new hardware, but just something to hold it together for now. Alright, so this is where we are going to go ahead and end it tonight, guys. I actually got a couple things bolted in just so this would be nice and tight, and I could kind of see how maybe if we bent it or not. But it looks pretty good. Should be able to get that welded up pretty nicely. This is all got to get welded. This side isn't screwed in yet, so that'll get a little bit tighter. And then I haven't screwed in anything on the bottom or clamped these or anything. I actually have to run to the store and get hardware tomorrow morning, so I'm going to go ahead and pick it up there. I got to get hardware for this transom, and I also took the front piece of wood out of the front over there, and it's actually drying right there. But I have to go get hardware for that too. So tomorrow morning I'm going to go ahead and finish this video off, get everything screwed in. Make sure everything's nice and sealed, and then we are dropping this off to the guy who's going to weld it for us tomorrow. Hopefully he'll have it for like 2 or 3 days. Then we'll get it back. I'll get things kind of prepped to go to our paint guy, which is a family friend of ours, and we'll go ahead and get it painted. It's going to be a nice gloss white is what we're going with. I'm pretty excited for that, but we got to do a couple things because I have these in here just because since I took a lot of support out, I didn't want to like have the whole like shift and stuff. So I have to take these out before it gets painted, and I have to drop these rails down 2 inches because I want to run LED lights underneath this rail, but I can't with that, and I don't want it to be up against my deck because my deck will literally be all the way up to here if I leave it like this. So I got to bring that down 2 inches. I got to cut that. The front's good. I can leave it like the way it is. I'm actually going to probably do a little bit of framing to that in the next couple of days after it gets welded before we send it off for paint. But it's coming along, guys. It is coming along. Alright guys, so we finally got the boat back. It's all painted, it's all welded up, and this transom is definitely good to go now. It's nice and it's all good to go now. It's nice and sturdy. You guys can see we got it re-welded all across here. We actually cut this. This was just folded. These welds got re-welded. Same thing all the way down here. And it looks really good. You know, we had a family friend do it. The same person who painted the boat. And I'll show you guys that real quick. You guys can see we're doing some framing. Don't worry, that'll be all level. I just kind of have it sitting there. But that's actually in the next couple videos. I'm going to be showing you guys all that. So that's a quick sneak peek. But yeah, the transom, it came out great. I can kind of show you guys down in here. I can't really see what I'm looking at, but that's the transom down in there. It turned out really good. I'm happy with it. We have to get these things re-riveted on, which are just like little end caps to hide the gap. We have this one and this one. We just have to rivet those on real quick, and then those are good to go. But I'm pretty pumped on how this turned out. You know, we're gonna get the motor remounted, and everything's gonna look great. We got to put this drain back in. That goes right there. But pretty much other than that, we just gotta fill in the holes that we aren't gonna be using, and it's good to go, guys. So I'm happy with the way it turned out. I think the boat looks really good. I'll show you guys it painted real quick. There we go. You guys can kind of see nice white paint. We're gonna get brand new tracker decals for it. It's gonna look all nice and done up. But there she is, guys. Alright guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. I finally got this back and done because I waited to finish this video. I've probably had the rest of this footage for 2 or 3 weeks now. But it's done. It's ready to go. You guys can see we're already making work on framing. We've only had this thing for like 3 days. So we're moving quick. But with that said, if you guys want to stay tuned, especially for these next couple videos that are all framing, please comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.